Foster?
June 15th, 2008, 2:30 in the afternoon. That's when I wrote the biggest check of my life, $120,000, for my daughter Maria's wedding. I can still smell the ink from that pen, still feel the weight of that checkbook in my hands. I thought I was being the father every girl dreams of. I was wrong. That check didn't buy her dream wedding. It bought me 15 years of silence. The smell of morning coffee hits different when you're drinking it alone. Every day for 15 years, I've sat on this porch, watching that empty chair next to me. Maria used to sit there when she was little, her legs too short to touch the ground, swinging back and forth while I read her stories from the newspaper. "Papi, read me the funny ones," she'd say. The funny ones. God, what I wouldn't give to hear her laugh again. You have to understand something about my family. We came to this country with nothing. My father worked 3 jobs just to put food on the table. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in East LA, 4 kids sharing 1 room. When I started my construction business in the 80s, every dollar I made went toward building something better for my children. By 2008, that business had grown into something I never imagined. We were doing commercial projects, shopping centers, office buildings, the American dream, right there in my bank account. Maria was my youngest, my princess. She'd been dating this boy, Kevin, for 3 years. Nice enough kid, worked at a bank, had plans. When they got engaged, Maria came to me with stars in her eyes, talking about her dream wedding. The venue she wanted was at the 4 Seasons in Beverly Hills. The dress she'd picked out cost more than my father made in 6 months. The flowers, the photographer, the band, it all added up to numbers that made my head spin. But when I saw her face, the way she lit up describing every detail, I knew what I had to do. "Don't worry, mija," I told her. "Your wedding will be perfect, whatever it costs." I pulled out every stop. Flew in roses from Ecuador, hired a mariachi band from Mexico City. The cake alone cost $3,000, 3 layers, decorated with sugar flowers that looked real enough to fool bees. I wanted everyone in that room to see what a Mexican-American father could do for his daughter. I wanted to prove something. To who? I'm not sure anymore. Most people walk away when stories get this heavy. The fact that you're still listening, that means something. The wedding was everything Maria had dreamed of. 250 guests, an open bar that never stopped flowing, dancing until 3 in the morning. I watched her from across the room, spinning in her white dress, and I felt like I'd conquered the world. This was what I'd worked for. This was what America had promised me. But somewhere between the wedding cake and the last dance, something changed. Kevin pulled me aside, his tie loosened, champagne on his breath. "You know, sir," he said, "Maria and I have been talking. We're thinking about buying a house and, well, we were wondering if you might help with the down payment too." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. Help with the down payment too. As if the 120,000 was just the beginning. As if I was some kind of ATM machine that dispensed money whenever they pressed the right buttons. I looked at him, this kid who just married my daughter, and I saw something I didn't like. I saw entitlement. I saw someone who thought my money came easy. "That's something we'll have to discuss," I said, keeping my voice steady. But inside, something had shifted. The next morning, Kevin called. Not Maria, Kevin. He had it all figured out, he said. They'd found a house in Manhattan Beach, 4 bedrooms, ocean view, $700,000. They needed $150 for the down payment. After what you did for the wedding, he said, we figured this would be easy for you. Easy. 40 years of 12-hour days, weekends spent on construction sites, hands so rough they caught on silk. None of that was easy. But Kevin saw the end result and thought it all just appeared like magic. I told him no. Simple as that. No explanation, no negotiation, just no. The phone went quiet for a long time. Then Kevin said something that changed everything. Well, I guess we'll just have to tell Maria how her father doesn't really care about her future. That was it, the line he shouldn't have crossed. Because he made it about my love for Maria, when it was never about that. It was about respect. It was about understanding the difference between help and expectation. It was about not treating your father-in-law like a bank account with legs. I hung up on him. 20 minutes later, my phone rang again. This time, it was Maria. But it wasn't my daughter talking. It was Kevin's wife, demanding to know why I was being so selfish, why I was trying to ruin their marriage before it even started, why I couldn't just be happy for them. She used words I'd never heard from her mouth before, words that cut deeper than any construction accident I'd ever had. I tried to explain, tried to tell her that it wasn't about the money, it was about the principle, that I'd given them a wedding most people could only dream of, and instead of gratitude, all I got was another hand reaching into my pocket. But Maria wasn't hearing any of it. She saw it as simple math. If I loved her, I'd write the check. If I didn't write the check, I didn't love her. Kevin had poisoned the well, and my daughter was drinking from it. The last conversation we had was on January 8th, 2009. She called to tell me they'd found another way to buy the house. Kevin's parents had helped with the down payment. I guess now I know who really cares about my happiness, she said. Those were the last words my daughter spoke to me. 14 years, 7 months, and 12 days ago. I've sent birthday cards to addresses I'm not sure are still good. I've driven by houses I think might be theirs, hoping to catch a glimpse of her in the driveway. I heard through my sister that Maria had a baby in 2012, then another in 2015. My grandchildren. Kids I've never held, never seen except in blurry photos on Facebook before she blocked me there too. The empty chair next to me isn't just empty, it's haunted. Every morning I sit here with my coffee and remember the weight of her little body curled up against me during Sunday afternoon naps. I remember teaching her to ride her bicycle right there in that driveway. Running alongside her, holding on until the moment I let go and she flew forward on her own. I remembered the proud look on her face when she graduated from UCLA. How she found me in the crowd and pointed right at me, mouthing, "Thank you, Papi." That girl is gone. In her place is a woman who sees me as the father who chose money over family. When the truth is, I chose family over money. I chose the hard lesson over the easy handout. I chose to teach her that love doesn't come with a price tag, even though it cost me everything. Some nights I wake up and reach for my phone, ready to call her, ready to apologize for being right. Because being right doesn't keep you warm when you're 82 and spending Christmas morning alone. Being right doesn't give you anyone to share your stories with when your memory starts playing tricks on you. I was told nobody would care about an old man's regrets. If you prove that wrong today, subscribe. More stories are coming, and I'm not done talking. This porch has heard a lot of confessions over the years. But this morning I realized something that's taken me 15 years to understand. I didn't lose my daughter because I refused to give her money. I lost her because I never taught her the difference between supporting someone and enabling them. I was so busy providing for my family that I forgot to prepare them for the moments when the providing would stop. The $120,000 is still the most expensive lesson I've ever paid for. But it taught me that sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is telling them no, even when that no costs you everything you care about, even when that no echoes in an empty house for 15 years. The morning sun is getting higher now, warming this old porch, casting long shadows across the empty chair. Tomorrow I'll sit here again, drinking my coffee, hoping maybe today will be the day my phone rings with a familiar voice saying, "Papi, I'm sorry. Can we talk?" Until then, I'll keep sitting here, keeping her chair ready, remembering the little girl who used to swing her legs and ask me to read her the funny ones. Because that's what fathers do. We wait, we hope. We love our children even when they can't love us back. And we learn to live with the choices we made, knowing that sometimes doing right feels exactly like doing wrong. The coffee's getting cold, but I'm not ready to go inside yet. This chair has a few more stories to tell, and maybe someone out there needs to hear them. Maybe someone needs to know they're not alone in loving someone who won't love them back. Maybe that someone is you.